dancing in the light, dancing in the rain. It's the final right. There's no need to hide. It's moving to the light, moving to the night. Oh, it's shining bright, dancing in the light. Somewhere you'll find a way. If if divine, dancing in the light, moving in the rain, staying true to who I am. Good day, everybody. Peace, love, and harmony to you all. I am Peacekeeper, and I am recording this message live on camera. If you are receiving this message on the replay or you are here now with me, I give thanks that you are here, and I give thanks that I can get to share my knowledge and wisdom with you today about foods, and I'll also be diving deep into how to create a balanced life using foods and to not overwhelm your body with the artificial foods, some of the effects that it can have on you, and I'll also be explaining to you how you can navigate around it. And I'll just be sharing based off of the knowledge that I have here at hand and how I deal with myself. So welcome for the individual joining in, and let's just dive straight into it. So let's talk about sugar. Sugar is one of the main food sources that a lot of people are addicted to. There's sugar in almost everything. There's sugar in what we drink. Yo, hello from Turkey. Welcome. Do you guys have any big turkeys over there? I'm from the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. So I'm just speaking here about my food journey, how to create a balanced lifestyle between different foods and Trinidad. Yeah. So the topic right now is sugar. And why am I speaking on sugar? Is because sugar leads to a lot of inflammation in the body. Sugar also raises your blood pressure very high, which also a lot of people have sleeping issues at night, and they wonder why they have sleeping issues, why they can't sleep at night, because it's from the sugar intake and even the type of sugar that they have us using is not the best of sugar, especially that white sugar. So this is just me just raising awareness on these foods, and also sharing that it needs to be done moderately, because along my journey in terms of switching to a more balanced diet to help boost my immune system and boost my brain function, to build my cognitive dissonance, and just to increase my memory, I've selected a specific group of foods where it actually helps me to feel good also internally. Whereas when I eat artificial foods and I overdo it, I literally don't feel good at all. So I'm going to be speaking here also about how important it is to really and truly balance off your diet, because depending on what it is you're eating can determine the way and you will feel big time. A lot of our diseases and sickness that we obtain right now in today's society is because of the overload also of flour, which causes inflammation in the body. So all of these are just things that I'm just raising awareness to. The white flour especially is very harmful on you because of the bleaching, because of how they stripped it away from its natural elements. So some of the alternatives which I use right now as not just supplements but the actual natural form of these things. So for example, I still do eat white flour. I still do intake it in my system, but I don't try to over Islam. No habla. I do not understand that language, my brother. Yeah. Yeah, so if I do intake it at a high quantity or a high amount, what I do to help to flush out my system from the flour is not just fasting from the flour alone, but fasting in general. This helps to clear your gut, and also it helps your body to go into that you know restorative state where it starts to get rid of all the waste that has been piled up in the esophagus, which can sometimes get clustered because of a high intake in flour and not drinking enough water. So if you are a person that likes flour and you know has an issue with eating a lot of flour, you also need to drink a lot of water, because the water aspect can help to soften that so that it could process a little bit easier in your digestive system. And your gut really and truly needs to be free, because if your gut is not free, you you are at a higher risk factor in terms of your immune system. You'd be a lot more susceptible to getting and picking up things, because your immune system is already working on dealing with what it is that you're intaking. So this is why for me, I don't try to be perfect with foods. I don't try to be 100% a food guru or anything, but what I've learned on this journey, food is a very important factor. And I would say I have been neglecting speaking about foods and sharing this side of myself, because it's very difficult to change the programmings of foods, the foods that you're accustomed to eating. It's very difficult. And with that being said, also, there is no specific way to live. Like, there really is no specific way. You don't need to take care of your health and balance yourself now. It's still a choice. But in taking care of yourself now and balancing off yourself now, you are safeguarding yourself in the long run. You're safeguarding yourself from having to go to the hospital, having to, you know, get over an illness. You're safeguarding yourself from these things. You're protecting yourself before it even happens. And this is what I'm here to also share, ways to prevent the overload in your system, because now I've locked off sugar for quite a while, but for the past 2 days, as I have not been in a facility where I can cook for myself and stuff like that, I had to eat what was in my facility. And the stuff that I ate really and truly triggered a part of me, where my body was basically, you know, I was feeling very, anxious. And that would have been from the high amount of sugar intake that I had taken in throughout that day, and I had nothing to really balance it off. I had no fruits in the midst really balancing it off. It was just sugar and flour. So it was basically like, sweet bread. Um, there was some gummy bears as a snack, some 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 ginger cookies. Um, what else? It was a lot of sugary stuff in a nutshell. Even the juice. Yeah, even the juice that I had drank was packed with a lot of sugar. And because I am totally aware and in tune to my body, some of the signals that my body sent me with this experience was, one, yet again, the anxiety. Two, I did not drink enough water. And three, I did not have any really, physical exercise to really burn off that sugar. So I said this: if you aren't taking sugar on a high scale, you definitely need to be doing some physical activities, and talking about intense physical activities, to try to burn out that sugar as fast as possible, because it's not healthy for you at all, you know. And to add to that, within the experience, to me, last night I was, literally trying to fall asleep, and I couldn't sleep. And usually I'm a very early person, where I'd fall asleep like, 8. I'm already KO, sleeping like a baby in my delta state, in my most calm state. And I was just laying there, calm in meditation, and just trying to fall asleep, but not really trying at the same time, and I just wasn't falling asleep. And then I asked, myself the question, why am I not tired? Because I did a lot of work the day, I've been moving around, so why am I not tired now? And then when I played back what I did throughout the day and what I ate throughout the day, I was like, oh shucks, I ate a lot of sugar, and that's not a normal thing for me. So my body automatically got triggered from that overload of sugar, especially how it has been something that I've been leaned off of for quite a while. And another thing that I am also realizing with the body, especially when it comes to, leaning off of certain foods, and then actually trying to go back down that line of eating those same foods, those foods that you would have been able to eat before. If you lean off of it and you take breaks and stuff like that from it for a long period of time, when it is you try to go back to those foods, your body just rejects it. Your body does not want it. It no longer sits in your system the way it used to sit in your system before. It no longer does what it is you thought it was doing before. It no longer does that, because now your body, hi, welcome. Now your body is basically showing you its natural state, its natural setting. And with this natural setting, you're now actually aligning yourself to the your natural ways of living, you know. So your body will, hi, welcome, how are you? How are you? Yeah, your body will reject after going through a cleanse. Yes, some of the cleanses that I do to help me to clear my gut is a water fast with fruits implemented. That helps me to clear my gut. I would recommend stuff like, coconut water, cinnamon sticks. You can even like make some clove tea, bay leaf tea to help, just boost your immunity. Also bay leaf teas actually can help, lower high blood pressure. Bay leaf and soursop leaf tea, that helps, just lower blood pressure, and it can help put you in a calm state, for those of you who have, high blood pressure. Bay leaf tea, very very, very super powerful. Another thing that I have learned about the gut too, super herb that helps clear the gut very quickly also is, ginger. Ginger is one of the most powerful superfoods there. It's a ground food, it's easy to grow, it's not high maintenance, it's low maintenance. All of these things are natural ways that you can, just boost your immunity and bring your body back to, some type of balance at least, because for me, I don't think anyone should ever have to be, perfect with just eating, plant-based and just live enzymes and stuff like that, because there are a number of other things in the world that we all like, and we all would always want to, eat. But it's like I said, this video here is just to raise the awareness more, to share that, we need to cut back on the things that we know are not beneficial for us in the long run, especially when it comes to our body, because the truth is, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, we keep doing what it is that you're doing, you won't be able to have the same level of strength and the same level of, you know, youth at an older age. But whereas in cultivating a balanced lifestyle now in terms of diet and making sure that you are greasing your engine along the way, putting the right nutrients in along the way, even self you might get a little bit of dense, even self you might get a little cracks, a little bit of cracks. You're still patching those cracks, you're still fixing those dents by basically balancing off with something healthy and implementing the fasting too in the mix. So what I try to do with my fasting is fast from 6 the previous day up to at least 10 or 12 into the next day. And this helps to put your body in a state where it will show something called autophagy, and autophagy is one of the highest forms of healing. Why? Because now all of your energy that your body was having to use to get rid of waste and toxins, it can use that energy now to get rid of parasites and diseases or illnesses in the body. Even fasting even kills cancer cells, and these are things that a lot of people don't know because the doctors don't tell you things like this. But it's very powerful to have some type of fasting going on in your life, because another thing when it comes to eating, we tend to overeat a lot. We tend to really and truly eat like gluttons sometimes. Like our guts, when it's supposed to be like clenched like this, it's like swollen so big, where some people have like that big punch belly and they want to know, oh gosh, what can I do to get this belly to go down? And that comes from the overeating, the eating and lying down after you eat. It comes from the eating and drinking. It's like there's a number of things that we do as human beings that it's not healthy for us. Like if you look at other animal species out there, in terms of whether it be dogs, cats, it doesn't matter what animal, they do not eat and drink. But yes, so we as human beings, when we sit around the table, eat and drink, and that actually swells our gut. And so the best thing is to either drink first, nourish your body with water, or fruits that are alkaline, water based, and then you can eat like the heavy stuff. But what I do, and that I try my best to do, is to eat the live enzymes first after breaking my fast, so that I won't just put the heavy stuff in my system, and all that energy now will just be going into breaking down the food. No, I will do my best to put in the fruits first, and then later on in the day then I'll eat like the heavy stuff, and I'll go down that road of you know I might dabble in some artificial stuff, and things like that. So it's all about developing a routine in how you go about your diet. You really need to develop a routine and manage what it is you're eating. Be mindful of what it is you are eating, because whatever it is you are putting into your system, you definitely will get back out. So now, on the standpoint of meat, um, I know a lot of people think that they need a lot of meat to gain body mass and to get protein and stuff like that. And I once used to live by that law too. I once used to live in that limitation, where I used to think that I need to be eating a certain amount of meat to gain protein and to get built big and bulk up. But now that I am, I've switched from eating the meat to a more plant-based genre. What I have realized is that it was never the amount that I was eating. I used to think I would have had to eat meat, and I would have had to eat loads of it to put on muscle. But now I realize it's what it is you are eating. The proper fibers, the proper carbs, the proper fruits that are high in protein, like flax seeds, kale, um, nuts like cashews, almond nuts, healthy fats. These are natural organic substitutes that you can use that helps give your body the protein that it needs. And I've been doing this for a while, and I would say that I am amazed of how well I'm doing without the meat, which would have been something that I never thought that I could have ever done before. So now that I'm actually able to do this, and also help guide others who are willing to make that food transition just to benefit themselves and to take care of their health, because they don't want to, they may be dealing with acid reflux, or or just dealing with an upset stomach, or they might be an individual that gets sick on a regular, and they want to know why it is that they keep getting sick so easily, why it is that anything that falls, they pick it up. And some people tend to say to them, because that's just genetics, or their immune system is weak, or stuff like that. And I would say yes and no, because the truth is you can still boost your system from what it is you're putting in, which will boost your immunity. And that is based on, yet again, what you decide to intake. So for me, I can state how difficult it has been to lean off of meat, whereas there were times where I have been months consistent, and then I went back to eating it once or twice, and then there were times that I went for a year straight. Like this journey has been something for me that is an ongoing process, and this is why I'm speaking specifically also about balancing it, because you know if you don't want to stop eating meat, it's good to still have a balance of being mindful and aware of how often you do eat stuff like that, because a lot of people are going through stress, and they don't even know that the food that they're eating is what's adding to stress, because a lot of the foods that we eat actually is taking so much of our energy. It's draining us so much that it actually puts us into a state of depression. And when we go into that state of depression because of the type of foods that we eat, it it puts a lot of stress, unnecessary stress that we don't need for ourselves, especially in this time, you know. So if we can prevent it, like we should. So this is why I do my best to prevent, giving my body that type of stress, because I like feeling good. And if I know doing something the right way, which would be, eating a specific way just to help boost my vitality, boost my emotional states, boost my brain function, and just boost me in general, turn me into a superhuman. I do I do it because I see a lot of benefits in it. And sometimes I wonder, like, why don't people, see benefits in taking care of themselves? Do they not, love themselves? Do they not, care about their health? Do they not really care about how well, their body functions? That's just some of the thought process or patterns that comes to mind sometimes. But I've also realized that some people just don't know, so as I've been influenced and called today to, speak about foods and speak about my food journey, which is also helping me to break past that barrier of, I don't like telling people what to eat and how to eat and what they should eat and what they should not eat, because a lot of these things are, personal choices of how an individual chooses to live their life. What someone does with their body doesn't really have much to do with me. But one thing that the universe has shown me, God, divine has shown me, is that a lot of people just don't know. So, don't just keep the information to myself. Share what it is I do know, because you never know, it may help someone else and it may help them to, feel better just simply by the foods that they eat. Another powerful thing about food is that food carries wisdom and information and knowledge. After you eat foods from the land, crops that came from the land, it has been receiving the vital light force from the sunlight. It has been receiving the nutrients from the earth. It has been receiving all of the natural goodness that when you take that fruit from the land, or when you eat that, that's nourishment. you know it's like really and truly nourishment. And the flip side with these artificial products, they actually create these products to control us, to deteriorate our bodies, to control our minds. you know this is why they add a lot of chemicalized addictive substances in a lot of the things that we consume. And like example, milk. Like a lot of people are not aware of milk. Like even the almond milk that they sell is not even good milk, but it's a better alternative than the cow's milk and calf's milk. Why I would say that is because the cow's milk, the calf's milk, they are these individuals are just focused on mass production, and they will do whatever it is that they can to mass produce just so that they can get more produce. So this will include injecting of the animals so that they can speed up the process, which is altering the hormonal process, which is increasing the hormones within the animal. When it comes to cows, they do that with goats too, and we now consume that and put that in our systems, and that can actually affect us in a very big way. So there are some people who are highly, off balance in terms of with see word there's a word I'm looking for. Right, highly off balance within their hormones. Their hormones are off balance because of those chemicals. So it kind of alters, like for ladies, it can alter your period dates. It can throw off your natural menstrual cycle of alignment with the earth, where women are supposed to be naturally aligned to the earth. And as I'm on the topic of what it is that you intake, I'll also speak here a little bit about, tablets and pills and these type of different things. These things are not there to cure you or to actually help you. It's just there to soothe the pain temporarily, suppress the issue temporarily. But when it is you buy that, it doesn't do anything, and internally it gets worse and worse and worse and worse, and then you just keep taking the pills, keep taking the pills until it can actually reach the point where something as simple or something as small, you know, as gallstones could be prevented by simply eating like things like papaya and also grinding on the papaya seeds. That helps with gallstones. And it is very sad to see that a lot of people don't know that just simple foods like that can change and impact their lives for the best outcome and the best future for themselves. So keep in consideration today, guys, with this message here, I'm just raising awareness, and I'm just sharing my knowledge about what I know about foods and why it is that I do what it is that I do with my body, and how it has helped me, and the feeling that it brings to me now. Only when I eat artificial stuff, my gut feels upset. And this is yet again what I'm saying. If your gut's upset, it can influence your mind. Yeah. So anyone has any questions on anything that I've spoken about thus far? Hey, what a parrot. Let's take a moment to listen to those parrots. Yeah, that's a beautiful song. That's a beautiful way to take a little pause, show this video, which can also lead me to yet another explanation of the importance of pausing. At the same time, you need to pause for accidentally sent from my friend. If you need to go up in your office for cousin's wedding dress up today, you should be not going anywhere else in the team. Is that the same thing? Yeah. I'm kind of confused of that question. Does that question have to do with food? Because I'm seeing something about girlfriend here in GF, and I'm not really speaking about girlfriends in GF right now. I'm just speaking about food. Need any assistance with food today? Any insights or ways to clean your gut today? That's what I'm here to share with you guys today. Because if I go down that road of speaking about girlfriends and stuff like that in this topic, hey, I'm not sure you guys are ready to hear what I have to say about that right now. There are just some people out there that it's just not meant to be in your life. A lot of people just tend to hold on to people that God is trying to pull away from us. have you guys been doing? How was your day? What did you eat today? Did you get some type of fruit in your system today? I didn't. I got some cinnamon tea, and I ate some, what you call this again? Um, pumpsitaes. Um, I ate some more of those ginger cookies. I had some sada and Boddy and pumpkin. Yeah, food. Me, I love me some food, man. Love me some food. It's like I said, not a matter of perfection, but be mindful of what it is you're intaking. You know, be mindful, be mindful, be mindful. That's just not to overload the system. Yeah. Okay, guys, so I guess no one has any questions. I've been here for a while, and I've shared a lot of information already. I've shared a lot of deep insights on some alternatives that can be used to help, boost your immune system and to also help you. And I hope that you guys took something from this message today. And I say to you guys, take care of yourselves, love yourselves, and let's just move into this, phase doing the best of what we can do to safeguard ourselves, protect our health, and just keep working on creating that balance in our life. So for example, it's like I was saying earlier on a little bit, just to leave a little bit more detail before I go with the balance of the food. You know, you do your shit the previous day, try to lessen down on the shit you do the next day, and then just keep cutting back and cutting back and cutting back and cutting down, and eventually you would be exactly where it is that you want to be on your food journey. But this is a process that takes time, and this is a process that you really and truly would need to want better for yourself to, see it through till the end. So to you guys, peace, love, and harmony to you all. And love, take care of yourselves today. I am Peace Sleeper, and I'm out. Until tomorrow. Bye.